So, dear friends, I now have the honor to introduce Dr. Eli Eisenberg as our next speaker. Dr. Eisenberg is from ORT Israel and the head of administration for R&D and training. Dr. Eisenberg is a renowned pedagogue with unique expertise in government consulting in the fields of technology and education, and among others was a personal consultant of His Excellency President Nelson Mandela of South Africa. Please, Dr.
Eisenberg. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really my great honor and my great pleasure to be invited by Rotary here to give you a lecture about technological and vocational education bridging socio-economical gaps. I truly believe that ORT Israel and Rotary are sharing a very similar vision, and I'm going to conclude my presentation with this vision. My name is Eli Eisenberg, and I'm an Israeli-born citizen, Sabre, in Haifa, in the north part of Israel. I graduated the Technion University with 3 degrees, BSc, MSc, and Doctor of Science in Engineering and in Education. Then I was invited for my postdoctorate to consult the British government how to introduce technology education into the rigid curricula of the UK. I established a technology center in Carmel College, and after 2 years I went back to the Technion to serve as a researcher and as a lecturer in the Technion University. And then in 1992, I was approached, I was nominated for a job which I could not refuse. I was invited to South Africa I was invited to come and to be, among others, a candidate for introducing technology education, vocational education for the black community. President Mandela, Nelson Mandela, and his team, Cyril Ramaphosa, Professor Louis Steger, and others, interviewed me for a week. My first sentences were, I know that I have a very, very low chances of being elected here in South Africa. I'm Jewish, I'm Israeli, I'm white, and I'm ginger hair. Today you can't recognize it, but then I had a lot of ginger hair. So at the last day, when I was nominated by President Mandela, and I'm going to repeat it in my presentation, because I learned in 5 years in Africa much more than I learned in all my life in the Technion University. And what he said, I know that you are Jewish, I know that you are Israeli, I know that you are a white person and maybe a ginger hair, but your heart is in the right place. And my presentation was for you, technology and vocational education could mean very practical things and many machines. I'm going to speak about the combination of the brain, the heart, and the hand. ORT Israel was established in 1949, 64 years. Today, ORT Israel is the leading and the largest educational network in Israel. Each 10th graduate of the Israeli national education system is a graduate of ORT. 30% of the engineers and technicians in Israel are graduates of ORT Israel. We spread out all over the country, from the north to the deep south, serving all the communities. You heard just now, we are serving 20% of our students are coming from the Arab communities, Muslims, Christians, Bedouins, Druze, Jewish, secular Jewish, Orthodox Jewish, and all the others. 100,000 students from the age of 11 up to the age of 70, 80. We have 2 academic institutes, and what is unique, and that's what I would like to emphasize, is our R&D center. The center, R&D center, is a philosophy. It's a strategy. It's not just one more R&D center, because normally, all over the world, you will never see a R&D center in education. You'll find them in universities, you will find them in research institutes, but not in educational networks. We at Oat Israel believe that research and development is inevitable, is must, because we teach, we educate, and we train, teach the students of the future, the generation of the future. So we must be always at the edge of the educational development. We believe, and I'm sure you as well, that education system should build a strong society and economy. Normally, there is a correlation between the strata of the socio-economical student when he enters the school and how he graduates. Most of the people will tell you that you can see the parents look at their educational graduations and degrees, and you can envisage, you can tell very clearly what will be the future of the student. And therefore we say no. We say we must cut this correlation. And I'm going to convince you today that by educating children, students, with technological and vocational education and training, you can really do it. This is a very interesting graph. I'm sure not all of you or most of you couldn't see, but I'll explain it. The graph is taken from a research work which was carried out in 2002 by one of the renowned economists in Israel, who is a consultant to the Prime Minister. His name is Professor Manuel Trachtenberg, and his students, Gadi Frank, carried out this research. But what you can see here from this graph, that there is an inverse correlation between the Gini index and the proportion of technological and vocational education in the country, which means Gini index is this for inequality in socio-economical conditions, and proportion of technological and vocational education is the horizontal axis. But you can see very clearly that the lower proportion in technological and vocational education, the higher Gini index is. And as I said, this research work was done in 2002. According to this graph, we could envisage then that the 4 countries, PIGS countries in Europe, Portugal, Greece, Ireland, and Spain, have a very low proportion of technological and vocational education and a very high Gini index. We believe that we should cut this correlation, and we should, by technology education, getting a much balanced society. Society where everyone is equal. To give equal means to unequal people is the worst thing to do. And therefore, by technology education, you can change this graph. What is technology? Many people are confused. What is technology education? What is technology? And I'm going to give you 2 definitions of technology. Technology combines knowledge, skills, and resources, such as money, human resources, and materials, to solve practical needs. Technological processes happen in relation to and are impacted by interaction with society, industry, and environment. But the key features of any technological education in any technology or any vocation should be innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. You know that Israel is a startup nation. We are second in the world to have startups nominally, not just proportionally, after United States. And we have the opportunities to do it. And therefore, technology education should give you these features. Technological and vocational education and training, what is it for? Here is another confusion or myth among many people. When you hear the word technology or vocation, you think about grease, you think about machines, you think about blue-collar profession, you think about dirty. No, it's not. If you go into any technology education today, you'll see it's like a pharmacy. Everything must be clean, everything but without any dust. It must be very, very, very high profession. And technology education, vocation is for everyone. It should be for production and maintenance. It should be for engineers, for research and development, and technicians. So we believe that you should have not just what we call intelligence, intellectual intelligence, but also to have technological intelligence. And many of us who do very bad in academic could come to technology education and or build on their successes and made their life much better quality. And this is what we really did in South Africa with a great, great success. Technology education is also building skills for life. For us, it's a culture. We talk about multidisciplinary education, such as mechatronics, robotics, such as aeronautics, such as biotechnology, nanotechnology. We talk about moral dilemmas. Many of you, I don't know if you heard the story about the professor at the university who asked his student to design a blood channel going from one tongue to the other tongue. No one from his students asked where this blood is coming from. What is it for? Who is using it? This must not happen. So we include ethical dilemmas, medical dilemmas in professional and technological education. Soft skills such as teamwork, debate skills, presentation skills, all of them are part of technological and vocational education. Job orientation for sure, and the last one is community. You know that in technology education, it's a project-based learn, and we encourage our students that their project should serve the community, should serve people with special needs, should serve sustainable environment. All of these are included in technological and vocational education. Now, we talked about technology on one hand, and we talked about who should use it on the other end. But who is linking, who is combining these two? And the answer is quite simple. Teachers, teachers, and trainers. McKinsey carried out a report a few years ago to find the best practices of the educational system in the world. What are they doing? What's their secrets? And after 350 pages, there is one sentence. No education system is better than the quality of its teachers. We at Oath Israel understood it in 1949 when we were established. In the first page of our history, in the first line, was written, invest in teachers, invest in trainers. Mandela used to tell me that the best teacher under a tree is much, much better than 100 poor teachers with the best machines, with the best facilities and equipment in the world. We should believe in teachers, we should believe in trainers. And you as Rotary people talked about legacy, talked about education, what you could give to the community. We believe in teachers and trainers. Oath Israel, in the last decade, was approached to provide solutions around the world. We work in more than 22 countries in Europe, in 9 languages, carrying out European Union projects. We work in the East Coast and the West Coast of America, introducing technology education, and we work in Russia and of course in Africa. We could tailor-made educational solution to the needs of any community, of the needs of a country. We believe in capacity building. We don't come to and stay in the country. We come and work with the local people, understand their needs, and trying to serve the needs and the wants of the community. Again, we train the teachers, we support the teachers by in-service training, and what is more important, we train them on site, in the schools, in their classes, behind the closed doors. And we also give consultation and management to governments and to many institutions and educational networks. As I said, I would like to finish and share with you the vision which I believe is also the vision of Rotary. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. We truly believe that education and training is investing in the future of our youth. And the future of our youth is the future of us. Today, in many countries that we were approached by, there is very high unemployment between youth, between the ages of 25 and 35. We are talking about 30%, 40% in one country, 65% of unemployment because of the mismatch between the graduates of technology education and the needs of the society, the job market, and the economy. I believe that I convince you that through technology education vocation, we can make and create a better future. I thank you very much. Thank you.